Hello friends, it's Flavors here. I hope I will not be mistaken if I say that here at Daily PvP we love MMORPGs and also we love PvP, you know. So MMORPGs and PvP, we love them both. So you know, I keep my eye out on new things in the MMORPG world, constantly on the lookout for things that could get competitive or would just be extremely interesting to play from a PvP perspective. And that Korean MMORPG Black Desert, even though it's still in closed beta in Korea and there are not that many news about its release in the West or anywhere outside, but still it's looking extremely interesting. So I was browsing some websites earlier today and I encountered an interesting footage that I would like to watch together with you guys. The footage, or article rather, was found on 2p.com site. A decent site, you know, if you want to find out news and information on different MMORPGs. One of the sites I pay a visit regularly, and you know, this article here has a really catchy title: Black Desert PvP Imbalance, 5 Rangers defeat the whole guild in Fortress Siege. And you know, I'm interested in the game, and a title like this just instantly grabbed my attention, and I wanted to check it out. There is a small description on what exactly happens in the video. Talks about Fortress Siege, which seems to be a mode similar to Guild Wars 2 World Realm versus Realm, or the Elder Scrolls Online Cyrodiil PvP. It talks about how a certain class, a ranger, was able to beat, well, many men, and you know, PvPers are always on lookout for something such as this. You know, most PvPers just want to have an edge over everybody. So you know, I thought, why not sit down and watch this footage and try to have a look into what exactly happens in a Black Desert PvP with all you guys. So that's exactly what I guess we should just do. So grab some popcorn, there is probably some drama. Oh, and I should perhaps point out that actually, even though we don't really know a lot of about Korean MMO players, you know, language barrier, not a lot of people can just, you know, go to one of their websites and just communicate, because most people do not know Korean, right? Even me, who is so awesome, just doesn't have this capability to communicate to Koreans. And just a really small percent of Koreans know English at some kind of acceptable level. So there has always been a barrier, but MMORPG sector is really developed in Korea, and a lot of players actually do PvP in different MMOs. Not just, you know, computer gaming is extremely popular in Korea. And MMORPGs is just being a part of it, but it's a big part, and millions of people every day practice PvP, and they are extremely experienced players, so it doesn't take them a lot of time to figure out a game and just to become pretty proficient in it. So the footage we'll be seeing is probably one of the is probably made by one of these players who's just not some kind of newcomer. But anyways, I've rambled long enough. Let's just go ahead, jump into the footage, and figure out what exactly does that imbalance and Black Desert PvP in general look like. This video was originally posted by a YouTube user DK AKVK1, a Korean player. Let's go ahead and see what's gonna be happening. We've got an action style MMORPG layout, which seems to be similar to Neverwinter or the Elder Scrolls Online, in a sense that you point your crosshair and that's how you target your abilities. It's not exactly like Guild Wars 2. You have to have someone in the targeting reticle, and oh my god, just look at the damage. So I guess the title of this video was kind of true. On the right of the screen we've got a party window that this character over here is a member of. It's 5 people, 4 rangers and 1 sorcerer. Levels averaging from 48, as I can see, being the lowest, to 52, right? That guy playing on screen right now being the highest level. And have you seen the damage he's been just dealing? Ranger seems to be a kind of ranged assassin with stealth. I can see he's got sneak. The game has mechanics of critical, pretty, standard to what most MMORPGs have these days, but there are also additional damage mechanics. From what I can tell, like there is something like a back attack. I would assume it applies additional multiplier. We also don't know, I would assume also, I assume a lot of stuff. It looks like these players that this ranger has been attacking just now are players. Well, they weren't NPCs, they were like in front of a castle. Why the hell would NPCs assemble in front of a castle? We don't really know what levels they were. Oh, look at that. This ranger is fighting against 2 opponents at once. These axes are big. Is this ranger in trouble? That critical hits for like half HP. Let's watch it for a second. Unfortunately, the trees obscure vision a little bit, but it looks like, just look at that amazing damage. So far though, just look at the combat feels quite responsive from what I can tell, compared to, say, the Elder Scrolls Online, where skills feel quite clunky when you use them. But what I'm seeing is actually quite similar to, say, Sneak from the Elder Scrolls Online, as well as this targeting reticule. Definitely tells me that the overall targeting and combat system is also really similar to what you can see in the game, but the overall feel, at least what I'm getting from this particular video, makes me want to play this game much more than as if I was watching an Elder Scrolls video. In the meantime though, our player here continues to slaughter people down. But the title, I feel after watching this for a few minutes now, it feels like the title was actually somewhat misleading. It's not like 5 people in this party are just slaughtering 60 people with no chance. It's more like, a slice of footage as players. Oh, that's actually a fancy escape ability, I assume. That gave him a huge burst of speed as well as invisibility. What is this kind of ninja move? Does she have to swing her leg like that before shooting? Does it help arrows fly faster and be more precise in hitting its targets? Well, I don't know, but definitely rangers do not need any more damage in this game. In the meantime, carnage continues, players fall. And wait a second, did that guy just drop something that actually is quite interesting? If people drop, some kind of loot in PvP, it is not necessarily a new thing, people dropping loot. Your opponents who have been slain with your precise shots or hits, dropping a piece of equipment or something. But this is mostly a thing of the past in the West, because when the era of casual PvPers started, of course, a lot of them were not really happy about losing something, like facing some consequences after being ganked in the open world. But of course it all depends on whether or not I'm seeing things correctly, but it definitely looked like that guy who has just died dropped something. If you have some more detailed info on this matter, please do not be shy, just share your thoughts in the comments to this video. Just look at these people actually trying to cross this bridge. I guess it's not happening because the damage they take from this ranger, it's simply I'm at a loss for words right now, looking at how easily she kills people. But you know, overall, although that guy is just using a single skill which deals a ridiculous amount of damage, overall the whole combat and just environment feels like really fluid. And you know, of course I cannot read anything on the screen, but it just feels more like this guy is geared and leveled compared to whoever it is he's killing. Feels like more he's up against some lobbies or something like that, so perhaps it's not even an imbalance at all. Would you guys tell me, would you guys play this game? Because from my point of view, like, overall it looks really interesting, independent on whether or not this game has arenas and some kind of instance PvP. This might be an extremely interesting ground for competitive play. So far I'm looking at this footage and I would say, even though the combat system from what I'm seeing is not necessarily something innovative whatsoever, but it doesn't need to be really. It has to be fun and it has to feel responsive. So you know, even though there's not a lot of information about this game, in the West, just yet, you know, it's still in closed beta in Korea. But I'm fairly certain that as soon as the news starts coming, this game can become a pretty popular title in the West, especially, you know, considering the fact that there will be news, definitely, because there have already been leaked screenshots about English version of the client for this game being in development, although there have not been any news about who the publisher will be, but English version of the client is already been made, as well as very soon a Russian publisher will be also announced. So the developer and publisher in Korea have already got pretty big plans on pushing their game to the West. There wasn't anything innovative in what I've seen, but the huge thing is environment was pretty pleasant, and the combat just felt responsive, and this is something already well enough sufficient for a PvP game, or at least a game which allows you to PvP to be successful to the people who want just that. Anyways, friends, that's about it for the video. Just wanted to share something that I found extremely interesting with you. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We do a lot of fun stuff here, and I'll be seeing you next video.
가자, 빨리 가자. 야, 지금 시세로는 그